Alright, what's up, people? This is Redzone Ramblin. This is Kendrick Harrison this time. This is the real me coming at you this time.
This is the real you.
With Kyle Oster.
And I am Vanilla Gorilla.
Okay. The gruesome twosome. Coming out here, I'm gonna give a heartfelt message out to the NFL fans. To everyone that hates the Patriots, which is everyone who's not a Patriots fan, everyone who wants to talk about how the Patriots cheat and that you have to be the Patriots and the refs. I have like a heartfelt message for you guys.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up. Just stop.
That's how you feel?
Just shut up. I'm sick of it. Is this the saddest, most butthurt, most pathetic, broken record I have ever heard.
We're gonna have
every single game. You want to talk about, hey, I didn't know we had to beat the Patriots and the refs before every game. I knew we got to beat the Patriots and the refs. Hey, the Patriots are the biggest cheaters of all time. Listen, I'm sick of it. There are 32 teams in the NFL. If you are a fan of one of the 31 other NFL teams, I'm sorry, but the Patriots are better than your team. And they have been for the past 16, 17 years. That's just the way it is. I'm a Giants fan. It hurts me to say this. I hate the Patriots as much as the next person, but I'm so sick of every single game, every meme, every little picture you want to look at. Anytime a ref smiles when the Patriots win, anytime there's any call that goes the Patriots' way, there is a blown call every single NFL game. Every single game. If we want to look at this past game, the AFC Championship game, the biggest one was the AJ Boye pass interception.
Yeah.
Which pass interference. Yeah. So we looked at, like, I've seen that a million times now. It should have been a no call. That's true. It should have been offsetting penalties. They both had pass interference. It should have been offsetting penalties. No call. But that wasn't like that didn't give them a touchdown, a walk-off touchdown. That's the end of the game. That led to the Patriots getting into Jacksonville territory. Yes, they still had to execute and score. Okay, you going against a defense that wants to say they're the best in the league? Stop them. Stop the Patriots. Then at least make them get a field goal.
So is that not a different game if the refs make a few different calls?
You can say that about any single game. Like I already talked about in the other video about the calls that should have gone New England's way. That didn't get called against the Jaguars.
But the point is, more calls were missed against the Patriots. If you even look at the stats, we got 90 yards called against the Jaguars.
Okay, but that's because two of them were. That one was like 40 yards right there on pass interference. And yes, you're gonna have more yards. You have more penalties in their pass interference because it goes to the spot of the foul. So I don't care about the yards. Okay, and you want to look at that play. That wasn't like a walk-off touchdown end of the game.
But there was a Miles Jack touchdown.
We already talked about that. But this penalty, what people are talking about is before the half where they scored. Okay. And it wasn't like it shifted momentum because the Jags got the ball after halftime. They went down the field and scored. So that wasn't a momentum shifter. The Patriots still were in Jaguars territory. They still had to score a touchdown against the best defense of the league. They not only scored they scored a touchdown, not just a field goal. So if you want to make that a reason, like that's ridiculous. You have to stop them. So the Jaguars still had a chance to win the game. Like when the Jaguars were up 20-10. Okay, it's not like that end of the game. The Jaguars were up 20-10. New England scores again. The Jaguars get the ball again. They get a 3-and-out. New England scores again. Jaguars get the ball and they can't do it again. Like they get to New England territory and they can't score. So it's not like that play was a walk-off touchdown. In like that won the AFC Championship game. The Patriots still had to execute their game plan. The Jaguars defense, the best in the league, couldn't stop them with 11 minutes left to score 2 touchdowns. So saying that the NFL refs cost them that game is ridiculous.
Look, we should just make this channel a Patriots channel at this point because you are completely just.
No, listen. I'm not done.
On this bandwagon right now.
No, I'm not. I'm saying it's ridiculous because there are bad calls every game. There were 3 bad calls that did not get called against the Jaguars. Very clear calls, okay? And
first of all, they weren't clear.
Yes, they were. I could see it without even a replay. He slammed him on the ground. His head hit the ground. Okay, that's a personal foul. We're talking about the Miles Jack personal fouls. Should have been 2. But let's talk about the end of the game with the Patriots Steelers, okay? People want to say that the refs won that game.
They did.
Listen, it's a bad rule. The catch rule is terrible. It's awful. But the point is that the refs called it to the letter law. It sucks. It sucks that it went to the Patriots.
Because he was a runner. When he caught the ball and turned and made a football move, he did
because he was still on the catch. He tried to extend while he was catching the ball. It was different. It was different if he took a step and then extended. But
if that's not the Patriots, they don't get that call.
Listen. The fact is, the Steelers still had 2 chances. The Steelers still had 2 chances to score. They couldn't execute. Listen. It doesn't matter if that call was overturned. You still had 2 chances to win the game, and the New England defense stopped you. Just like New England got there, the Jacksonville defense had a chance to stop them off that bad penalty. Granted, it was a bad penalty, should have been called. The Jaguars still had a chance to stop them. They couldn't. New England executed. The Steelers didn't execute in their situation.
Just because you're saying that they had more opportunities to win the game doesn't take away from the fact that the dynamic of the game is completely changed.
Yes, I know
when
the
penalties
dynamic,
are
but
blown.
people are saying that's the reason they won. People are saying that when you say you have to beat the refs,
it does help.
No, because you still have to execute. That didn't even give the Patriots the lead in that game.
Bro.
You still have to execute your game plan. They lost their best player on the field, and they still executed their game plan. They didn't have Edelman all year. They didn't have Hightower all year, which was, by the way, their best defensive player all year, and they still... The fact is, like, they still execute their game plan no matter what.
This is a known thing.
Yes, I know.
This is a known thing that the Patriots do. This.
Yes.
They get calls.
No,
that's
they
just
don't.
That's just
Listen,
a known thing.
Listen,
Like,
you want to have a fun time, and go to yourteamcheats.com. Okay, it'll tell you all the blown calls they get caught people teams with, all the times teams get caught cheating.
Are there statistics on who's at the top of that list?
Yes, and the Patriots are not even in the top half. The most cheating team in the NFL is the Philadelphia Eagles. You want to talk about a team that cheats a lot is the Eagles. You can talk about Lane Johnson, who won them the game last week against the Falcons because he was their best offensive lineman. He was clearing up everybody. Last season he got suspended 10 games for PEDs. No one talks about how much the Eagles have gotten with cheats because they've never won a Super Bowl. No one cares.
So there's not a history of the Patriots cheating. There's not Spygate. There's not
okay. Let's talk about Spygate. Let's talk about Spygate. You know how many teams off the top of your head? Do you know how many teams were involved in Spygate? Do you know how many?
No.
32. Every team in the NFL was involved in Spygate because every team in the NFL videotaped. Every single team does it. Until 2006, it was legal in the NFL. Listen, until 2006, it was legal to videotape teams. Roger Goodell is on the record saying when he was a public relations person with the Jets saying it is stupid for a coach to not videotape other teams because everybody does it. Literally everybody. Ron Jaworski came back and said they were doing it. I'm going to get to that. Ron Jaworski came back in his day, Eagles quarterback by the way, saying of course they videotape. They've been doing it since the 60s. Not only did they videotape signals, he had his backup quarterbacks watch the signals while they're getting played and another one drop a red flag where they're going to call a blitz. It is known that that's what you do. You read signals. They still read signals today. It's illegal to videotape, but you can still take pictures. The rule in 2006, I'll pull it up. It said that you couldn't use tape in game. But the way they said it was so convoluted, that's what the Patriots got in trouble for because it was for one game after they sent the memo out, the NFL said, yeah, you can still videotape, that's fine. It has to be in an enclosed location. They give them approved locations where you can film game tape. Like you can film the other team practicing in approved location. That's a thing in the NFL. Everyone is still videotaping other teams. Every other team still has video crews there at practices, taking pictures, taking signals. Every other team still has it. The Patriots got in trouble is because they used the footage during a game. That's the only thing you can do is use footage during a game.
So the Patriots are some beacon of light and morality in the NFL.
I'm not saying it. They do.
Why are respected analysts and players coming out now and saying, wow, the Patriots get calls? They're coming out. Look at Twitter. Look at social media.
Okay, you want to look at Twitter and social media? It's because everybody hates the Patriots. Literally
that's the sole reason. It's a huge conspiracy.
Yes, look at the Packers. The Packers get more calls towards them than the Patriots do. That is a fact. You can look at it. If you have to, the only thing that comes up on social media is because everyone hates the Patriots. That's why they will take a picture of every single play, analyze every single little bit of video because everyone hates the Patriots. I hate the Patriots so much too, but they're not the only team that get calls their way.
I'm not saying they're the only one, but it happens more often.
No, it doesn't. It's
in
the
big
Packers.
games especially.
Look it up. It's the Packers. The Packers get the most calls their way, but they've only won one Super Bowl in like the past 30 years, so no one wants to talk about it. Everyone talks about it with the Patriots. It's because they've been the best team for 17 years. Okay?
Right.
With Spygate, they got caught using game footage in one game and they stopped immediately. Every team still gets signals. Every single team. It was legal until 2006 to videotape practices, walkthroughs. Every team did it. Every single team. Okay. Like I said, the Eagles are the most cheating team. Go to yourteamcheats.com and look it up. I'm telling you. You can look it up. It's amazing. And by the way, the blown calls that people want to talk about this year, like the worst ones that directly ended games, you want to talk about the Redskins, how they got a blown call on intentional grounding. That took them out of field goal range. They would have tied it against the Saints. No one's talking about it because the Redskins suck. They've always sucked, okay? The Steelers benefited from a botched fumble recovery. The rule is, in like the final 2 minutes, when someone fumbles, and it's the person that doesn't fumble, when they pick it up, they can't advance. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the rule. The Steelers got that. They got an extra 15 yards because Martavis Bryant picked up Antonio Brown fumble, got it 15 extra yards. They didn't get any yards after that, which set them up for a 50-yard field goal, and they win the game. Okay, the Seahawks got screwed out of a touchdown when Jimmy Graham got held by 2 Packers players. Okay, and they lost that game. This was not even the most egregious call. Those 3 calls directly influenced the result of a game. It wasn't where other team had chances to come back and win it, like the Jaguars did. It was directly ended the game. And no one talks about it because those teams suck. They haven't won 5 Super Bowls in the past decade. Like, you can look at any team. If tomorrow, if this is the start of the Jaguars dynasty, right, and they go to Super Bowl, 7 Super Bowls, everyone will start looking at calls that the Jaguars get. And it would start with that past game with those 3 calls that they called. If you're going to focus on one team, of course you're going to find calls that go in their favor, that go in their advantage. It's because the Patriots are good that people want to find this stuff. Like, I'm telling you, go to your team cheats and look at everything. People don't even know that every team videotapes. They still do. You still take pictures. And like the big thing that people don't talk about is like before the Super Bowl, how they videotape the walkthrough supposedly. That never happened. Like, it never happened. The NFL did their investigation. It never happened.
Look,
I hate the Patriots next to the next person, but they're not the only team in Spygate. It was every NFL team. They didn't cheat afterwards. And like, there are way more teams that get caught up in peds, by the way, and the Patriots have the least amount of people who get caught up in steroids. The Jaguars have more, by the way. And it was just last year, Aaron Colvin got suspended 4 games for peds. So it like the Patriots, like, as much as you want to hate the Patriots and say they get the calls, it's not. There are blown calls every game. Refs blow call every single game. We talk about it so much because the Patriots keep